How to find KDP hot colouring book niches. Hi, Kerry here from Dream Creator B. Welcome to my channel where we show you how to make money online with KDP low content books, Etsy and affiliate marketing with new training every week. So be sure to hit the big red subscribe button down below. So today what I'm doing is I'm going to tell you some of the hot niches that people are actually looking for from the colouring community and verifying to see if those are actually viable options for you as a business person, as a publisher or an artist to actually go into and actually be looking at those niches. And I'm also going to be telling you what you shouldn't be doing in one of the niches that I found. So here we are at colouring books for adults. This is a huge niche and it is a popular niche. Now, before we start, the #1 books that they all said that they didn't want to see any more of is mandalas. So if you are creating mandalas, stop. Don't be doing any more because the colouring book community is finished with them. Yes, they're fine to put inside of like an anxiety journal or a mindfulness journey aimed at people that don't actually colour in a lot. But if you're aiming for the true colouring in book niche group people who are really serious about this, then these are the things that they are looking for, because they are artists in their own right with their own colouring in skills. Some of the skills they can make an image that you have created and make it look like a beautiful photograph. So let's have a look. Now, in colouring books for adults, when we go to Amazon, you will see that it says that 165,000 people are looking for it, and this is using the tool, the Chrome extension, keywords anywhere, and it says found Amazon keywords for colouring books, and it is a paid tool. It's $10 for 50,000 searches. Then I've got a free tool by Self-Publishing Titans, which again is a Chrome plugin. And this tells you whether it's worth going for. And with a low score of 34%, it's not worth going for on its own, but you need to dig deeper. There's over 60,000, well, 50,000 results there, but this is in all. So if we go to books, there's probably a lot more than that. Also, the average BSR, which is the best-selling rank, the lower it is, the better it is 9,498. So colouring book niches are popular, and they're going to keep being popular. And with more and more people being locked down yet again, they're going to still be popular. Now, the average price is $8.66. That's another thing as well. With people coming into KDP, don't race to the bottom. Do not price everything as low as possible, because you're not necessarily going to make sales. People might say, well, why is that so cheap, but this one's a lot more expensive? It is a price game, but it's not to try and get to the bottom. You need to give yourself enough room to be paying for adverts, because organic sales are just not happening as well as they used to do, unless you're building a brand where you can actually be building out your Facebook group, your Pinterest group, YouTube channels or anything like that. Do not price yourself so low that you cannot be paying for adverts. So that is another thing. So here we are in a big niche. So what did I do to actually find these niches that I'm going to be talking to you about? Well, I joined different Facebook groups. Now, I did join this years ago, 5 years ago in 2015, when the colouring book niche actually took off. I didn't join it as somebody who wants to create colouring books. I joined it as somebody who enjoyed actually colouring in. No, I am nowhere near any of the standards that I see people who do fantastic blending and things like that, but I do know what I like and what I'm looking at. So I joined all these groups, and often inside these groups there is artists that come along and join and ask people what they want. Now, the first thing that they all say is they want decent paper quality. That is not something we can provide using KDP. That is one of the limitations, but it's a limitation that doesn't matter, because some of the best sellers like Jade Summers and Amy Brown, who are colouring book artists, and I'll show you their books, use KDP as well. So that is not an issue. Nor can we offer perforated pages where they can actually pull them out. Again, not an issue, because the big sellers are still selling on KDP and actually using their platform to print for us. So once we've dealt with that, then we need to look at what niches that people are mentioning. Now, one of the big ones that they mentioned was dragons and fantasy. So let's have a look at dragons. So the first one is dragon colouring book. We've gone to 48% and we're having 390 per month searching for it, but we've still got over 1,000. Now, is our competition the traditionally published people? No, it is independently. So there are independently published books here, and a lot of them are sponsored. But if you look at their prices, $9.99, $7.99, $6.99, They are giving themselves wiggle room to actually be spending money on ads. They may spend more on than these two because they're offering less pictures, 35 images, but yet their price is a lot more expensive at $9.99. This is offering probably 50 odd pictures, but their price is $7.99, so they're still managing to do advertising. And this one here, which is more of cute baby dragons one, and it's Jade Summers, who's just got plenty of books and they know what they're doing. So, but all of these are really low BSRs. Can you go in and compete with dragons? Probably not straight away. You might need to build yourself up in another niche and then start using that budget that you've made from them to compete with dragons. So fantasy as a whole, we go in, there's a search of over 480 per month. It's actually got a better percentage, but there's over 4,000 results. The BSR is 41,000 on average, but the average price is $10.58. Now, are they all fantasy? That one is. Those ones are. And again, yep, you might struggle to actually be competing with these people because they are more the traditional published. So let's move on. Now, this one, I'm going to warn you straight away. It is anime, but it's sexualized anime, and it's called Hentai Girls. Now, the reason I'm showing you is because people have actually asked for this. Now, this is not a niche I'd go into, mainly because it's not really there yet. It says 62%, which is near enough to the 63%, and there's only 301 people in there. But the average BSR is over $1 million, and the average price is $8.42. So why wouldn't I go into this? Because the BSR rank is over $1 million for a start, and secondly, the books that have just been produced are not selling. This one sold probably yesterday, but it's only got 2-star. Again, no rank sold. No, this one is 60,000, but that's in Kindle store. Now, that's another thing that you should not be doing if you're producing coloring books. You should not be putting them on Kindle. Now, where they're getting those results from, and that's sales, and they're being let to do that, I don't know why. But if this was in another coloring book niche, I think there would be a lot of complaints because people want to color in on paper, and there's no way of actually coloring in using Kindle or even in the apps. You can do digital coloring, but not through Kindle. So again, no rank found, over $1 million, 710. So I would not bother with that at all, even though people asked for it. And another one they asked for was China Dolls. Again, there was one book. It had a lowish BSR, but it wasn't really China Dolls. It was more China as a vacation spot. So the next one and this one, people kept saying it. They kept saying rural scenes, and they kept saying farms, and they kept saying barns, and country cottages was so popular. Now, if you do country cottages, it actually is huge. So, but here, if you just do rural scenes and you put as a keyword, you get 140 only books. Yes, it says 45%, and the average BSR is 236, but the average price of selling is $10.05. But here we are. We've got Country Autumn. Yes, it's over $500,000, but is there any that's below 100,000? This one is Country Kitchens. That's 1. Country Scenes 2. That's 6,700. Another one, Country Collection, that's 21,000. So I would go for this one. Definitely I would go for it. So, and don't forget, you can have like UK country scenes, US country scenes. You can change it like Country Teas and things like that. Country Charm, again, this is one I'd go for. But then if you actually type in whimsical as well, you're going to over 1,000. And whimsical was what they were also mentioning with regards to country as well. So you need to put different words in. And another word that they kept mentioning was whimsy. Again, only 496, but the average BSR 246. But again, you are going to find books in this niche that you might be able to compete with and might actually work. But a lot of these are cross niches, like this Gnomes in the Neighborhood is whimsy and whimsical, but it can also be fantasy and it can also be town and country. So you're actually covering 3 niches and getting in what people want and 36,000 rank. No, it is not an independently published, but there's nothing stopping you creating it. But that is another one that you can be getting into. Then I decided to look at farm animals. Again, this was a huge niche, over 4,000. But if you just put farm rather than farm animals, you might bring the number down. So again, you just search, no, we've gone a bit bigger. Then if you put something like farmyard, you might actually, again, change the actual down to 165, so you're not actually competing. So if you have farmyard, and in fact, rock stars, a farmyard coloring book for adults. How is that even right? It's getting ranked, and then different niche it down into specific animals. Chickens, somebody did ask for rabbits, but said they wanted the breeds to look proper. Goats, donkeys, farmyard. Again, you see, that's beautiful, but it's not selling very well. Tractor colouring book. Again, so I wouldn't go into farmyard, but probably rural scenes. But it could be a keyword. Then the next one that I had a look at was whimsical cottages, because that was mentioned as well. Again, look at this. There's only 133 results. I know it's only saying 39%, and average BSR is that, and 949. But that is what we're looking at. So some of these aren't even whimsical. That's one. Cute cottage. Yeah, do a better cover and that will sell, and put your price up and it will sell, because that is it will be cute. It's cute inside, so a bit of work and you can do it. Now another one was elves. Now it says here over 2,000 and the BSR was 1 million, but I only found one book that actually is about elves. The others had fairies with elves, like there's fairy and elves, but look at the sales rate there. This one is elves and cute fairies. That one's mermaids. So again, mermaids here, fairies. Fairies are popular, always have been. But the elves is this one here. Stunning, that one is. And look at the sales rank on that. But it's the only one that is appropriate for what people are actually asking. And that is absolutely beautiful. Whoever's created that's done a fantastic job. So they even tell you how many 30 gorgeous female elf portraits, elves, warrior, fantasy, they are getting in their keywords, and that is why it's brought that up. So that's another one. Then steampunk, again popular, but this time people actually said they weren't interested in steampunk with people, they wanted steampunk with animals and towns and cities and homes. So there's only 2 that actually, well, that one does animals, but that's one of the best sellers there. Again, this one does houses and that one does animals. Again, animals, animals, animals. So could you compete with steampunk? Again, it's up to 60%. There's only 307 results. The average BSR is 576, but is there 100,000 in there? Yes. And yes. And yes. And are they sponsored ads? A lot of them. Are they independent? There's 1, 2. 1, 2. It's independent. You could compete nicely in that one. So that's another one to look at. Then another big one was holiday colouring books. And they said specifically they'd like large print holiday colouring books. And could they include Hanukkah in them? Now, Hanukkah itself has got very little searches and there's very little books. And the sales BSR on them is not very good. So is it financially viable for somebody to create a Hanukkah book? Possibly not. But could you create something that includes Hanukkah in like a December book, a holiday book, an autumn book, a winter book, and include different holidays like Diwali in it and different things like that? So these are the holiday books, very popular around Christmas time, around Halloween, things like that. So that's just gone back to elves. So let's move on. Then vacation spots, another popular one. And you'll see that this cross niches very well with another niche. So this is an activity book. This is like Loves Key West. This is Island Dreams. And then this goes into interior. So there's only 3 books that is actually vacation spots. But it does mix with another one, which is Town and City. Now, Town and City, very popular again, over 1,000 niches. But if you put in your keywords vacation spot, especially if you do say about Paris, or you do about Venice, or Italy, or Greece, or the Greek islands, the Caribbean. So again, nice little town. So this is one that is very popular and one you could actually compete in. Then the next one is interior coloring books. Again, this is too big a niche to actually go and compete in, because there is massive ones there, but there's nothing to stop you actually cross niching. So could you do interiors on whimsical cottages, or interiors on fairy cottages, or something like that? Do a cross niche of some sort. And then what I thought I'd go into is tell you about some of the other requests. Now, one of the requests was for Disney Robin Hood. Now, you cannot do Disney Robin Hood. You can do Robin Hood because that's in the public domain. Robin Hood, was he real? Wasn't he? It comes from the Middle Ages. Even the story that was written about him comes from the Middle Ages. What Disney did is they created their own, and they created their fox to be Robin Hood. Now, you cannot be using these images yourself to be creating like this person has done. Yes, they have sold, and it's color by number. Now, what this person has actually done is they've actually taken this book 3 times and use the same interior. So they've done 2 things that they shouldn't have done. Firstly, they shouldn't have used Disney products unless they've got the license to. Secondly, even if you've redrawn them yourself, you cannot use them, because you cannot be reproducing the images to be making a commercial property on something that somebody else has trademarked. And check out my trademark video, that it will be in the right hand card for you, so check that out. But you cannot be doing this. So coloring books, in the very essence, you should not be putting on Kindle, and secondly, you should not be taking the same interiors and banging on a different cover to them. You cannot do it like it's a notebook or like it's a logbook. You should not be doing that, and that will get your account banned. Also, if you're purchasing your images from PLR creators that create these fantastic images to be used in coloring books, make sure you change them. Make sure you do different things to them to make them unique, because again, you might get banned because 2 people have got the same book. People are not going to be happy. They're going to complain to Amazon, who's then going to ask who's got the copyright, and you both have, so both accounts will be shut down. So make sure when you do purchase those packs that you do change them. So this person here has created these books, and they've got the same interiors, because I've had a look at them. Same with this one, same interiors. And again, they've taken, but what you can do is do something like this. They've taken some medieval pictures or public domain images and started to do old-fashioned Robin Hood coloring books. Now, they're not selling very well, but it is what you can do. Again, not selling very well for the other Robin Hood. Again, don't do this unless you've got a license from DC Comics or Marvel to do these. Again, this one sold over a year ago. It's doing okay, but would I go into Robin Hood? No, there's just not enough. Is there enough medieval towns? Could you change that and look into it and do that? Maybe. Then another one, Game of Thrones. This was asked as well. Again, you cannot be doing it unless you've got the license from George R.R. Martin or HBO to be actually using the images. And there are Game of Thrones colouring books already by George R.R. Martin and HBO. So you cannot. There are people that's done it. I don't know how they're getting away with it, but they have done it. So you should not. Devil Dragon. You're risking your account for a few sales. Another one that you shouldn't be doing is Outlander. This is the official book, but you shouldn't be going and recreating any of these, because they are trademarks. They belong to somebody else. Now, finally, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at different artists that create different books. Now, the first one we're going to look at is Kirby Rossini, and these are his books. People actually ask for his style of books. They are beautiful. They would probably take you a long time as an artist to recreate them, or to get an artist to recreate for them, because you can outsource. You can actually do like Jade Summers did and make it their full-time business where they have different artists working for them. So you could do something like that. This type of work is absolutely stunning. It's probably too detailed for the audience that wants large print. Then the next one is Amy Brown, and Amy Brown is actually independently published, and she has done her niche purely on fairies and fantasy and things like that. And beautiful, absolutely beautiful, stunning books. She's got over 3 pages there of these books, and some of them she started a long time ago, 2016, started creating, but these books are still selling. Yes, those are over 10 million, and she's done small versions and large versions as well. So, but if we look at what they're all selling for, she's got quite a few decent ranks. And then we've got Jade Summer, who is, the reason why I mentioned Jade Summer is because if you want to look at niches, look at what Jade Summer's got and look at the sales ranks on these. Bestseller, 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 and they rank most of them cheap prices as well, $6.99. Sloth coloring book. So they're covering the whole gambit. Then the next one is this one, Coloring Book Cafe, another one that's independently published, all cute and all in the niches that people are asking for. Large print, whimsical, wildlife, vacation spots. You see, farm life, country collections, country cottages, all the things people are asking for. Gnome life. Somebody actually said they didn't like gnomes, but there's gnomes. They have put some winter mandalas and easy mandalas, but they have done purely what people are asking for. Autumn scenes, holidays, witches, lighthouses. They've covered all sorts. And then we go to Joanna Basford, who started the whole colouring book craze, and hers is beautiful flowers and underwater scenes and different things like that. So that's her style. She's not independently published, she is traditionally published and very popular. So those are all the top niches that you should be looking at. So these are all the niches that people mentioned in different Facebook groups, but again, you need to go back to Amazon and check to see if they're actually selling and if that niche is viable, because as we've seen, hand tie is not viable. You might make a better job than the people that are already there. Then you can, step in and do it. There's not many people. Then a niche to go into and cross niche. Like a lot of them, they wanted vacation spots, large print, town and city. That is 3 niches that you could cross niche and get it into 3 different niches. So have a look at that. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and check out my video about planning for 2021. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, go and watch the video again or ask questions in the comments. Over on the right hand side there are some training and review videos. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to be notified about any new videos on my channel.